going to be looking at systems, processes, and financial metrics that you can use in your business. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at how to build these systems, efficient systems, how to track the right metrics, and also how to focus on growth that truly matters. Now, our goals for this week are to understand what systems and processes are and why they help our businesses work smoother. Also, we want to learn the difference between vanity metrics and actionable metrics, metrics that actually help us see how to grow. We also want to discover key financial and operational metrics businesses should track, like CAC, MRR, and churn. And don't worry about those terms, we're going to learn about what those are later. Also, we're going to know how to use data to make good decisions that help our businesses grow, as well as how real African startups have done this and continue to do this every day. So, what are systems and processes? These are step by step ways to do things, like how you take orders, check inventory, or record sales. They're basically like a mini script that you have to follow every time you do an activity. And they make your businesses run smoother. They make systems and processes easier to teach others. We all know about SOPs, right? So something that people can follow within the business and helping to teach new employees. And also, most importantly, they help us to stay organized. Now, for example, when you get an order, you package it, you deliver it, you note the sale, and then you ask for feedback. That is a system. It can be as simple as that. So, what are metrics? What are they? We have smart metrics and we have surface level metrics. So, what are vanity metrics? These are numbers that look good, but they don't help your business grow. For example, number of followers on social media, website views, likes, or shares. These are metrics that don't necessarily translate to leads. And they feel nice. It's nice to know that I got 1,000 likes on my video that I posted on social media, but no one reached out to me. At the end of the day, I didn't make a sale. Likes are nice, but they don't mean you make money. So what are actionable metrics? These are real numbers that help you decide what to do next. Like customer acquisition cost, that's the CAC we talked about earlier. And this is how much you spend to get one new customer. I think it's great that we can figure this out because it really helps with budgeting and planning. Also, monthly recurring revenue, MRR, the money you earn every month just from subscriptions or repeat customers. So this is money that you're kind of guaranteed. It really helps to plan. We also have something called churn rate, the percentage of customers who stop using your product or your service. And we also have customer lifetime value. This is known as LTV or CLV. And that's how much money you expect to earn from one customer over time. Yeah, so did we get those definitions down? How useful do you think those metrics could be? I think they're really useful. They really help to plan. So, how do we track these metrics? We need to set up basic systems to record sales. We also need to record customer payments and new and returning customers. These provide the basis through which we can see all of these different metrics. And we need to update our numbers every week or month. So that is actually a reflection of how your business is doing in the current moment. And we also need to use actionable metrics only the actionable metrics, not the vanity metrics, to decide if we need to spend more on marketing, if we need to see if there's something causing customers to leave. Also, these help us know if our revenue is growing. And let me share a few case studies. So we have Kobo 360 from Nigeria, and it's a logistics startup. They solve delivery problems by matching truck owners to cargo owners with their platform. So they tracked real metrics such as repeat shippers, people who are constantly shipping things, delivery times, the revenues that people were earning per trip, and they focused on performance, not vanity, like app downloads alone. And this helped them to grow. We also have Wazi. It's a Ugandan founded LA-based data company. They get consumer data via mappers on the ground and they sell insights. So they track subscriptions, monthly revenue, and client retention, rather just the number of mappers or surveys done. Are you seeing how valuable the metrics actually are, that people are willing to pay to use data to use in metrics? So we also have Mist, which is a backed startup in Ghana, but it's across Africa. So they use metrics like CAC, churn, revenue growth, and product usage to guide decisions. They help founders build dashboard systems to track only meaningful metrics. And as you can see, these are companies that are founded and they make money based off of metrics. This means that as a business, there's no way you can ignore this because someone out there is using it as a business opportunity. You should be using it too within your business to see how you can grow. So, what have we learned? Real numbers show if your business is growing, not only numbers that look cool. Systems are simply the steps you follow to run your business, and you should be tracking your sales, customers, and costs weekly. If someone says, wow, you have lots of followers, that might be a vanity metric. You can use it as leverage, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get sales. Instead, you should track your CAC, your MRR, your churn, and your LTV. Do you remember what those mean? And these numbers tell you real stories about your business's health. Look at Kobo 360, Wazi, and startup graduates from MES. They don't count followers; they count real paying customers and the real revenue. So this week, I want you to design a simple sales and customer recording sheet, and I also want you to pick one metric like CAC or churn and calculate it. See what that looks like for your business, and you need to decide which number you need to decide how that number helps you what to do next, basically. So where do you go from there? Now that you've calculated your CAC return, what are you going to do, right? So I also want you to look at what systems do you have. Are you recording customers and your sales? Do you write it down in a notebook somewhere? Do you have an Excel spreadsheet? I also want you to pick 2 actionable metrics to track, right? Basically, from the examples I've given you above, track how many customers you have, track how many sales you're making, track how much it costs you to get just one customer. Are you spending a lot on marketing? Maybe you're spending a lot on product development. How does that translate to your actual customer, to your actual sales? And I want you to use your idea. Basically, if you've not yet started a business, I want you to use your idea and estimate a CAC or a churn rate. So you should also explain how you could improve based on the numbers, right? So what have we talked about this week? We've talked about how systems help your businesses run smoothly, only track numbers that help you know how to improve. That has been emphasized. And vanity metrics feel nice, but actionable metrics actually tell you how your business is doing and how you should grow.